Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there in Heat Nation. If you guys could subscribe, that'd mean a lot to me. If you guys could that'd be cool too. If not, thanks for stopping by. Also, subscribe to the Tobin and Leroy Show, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We get silly people. And you guys can watch us on YouTube, add in on the chat. We interact with you live as the show goes on. It's a good time. You guys know how YouTube works. So, couple things I want to get to. First off, congratulations are in order. Bam Adebayo is, I guess, officially making the Team USA Olympic roster. He is one of the 11 that they reports had leaked with the Team USA. And so Bam is there. Now, he had apparently, Tim Reynolds had said he had committed back in October. Like, he knew he was making the team. Gold medalist. It's kind of like your grandfathered in, right? Like, I know Joel Embiid is on this team and, Anthony Davis is on this team, but, Bam's a gold medalist. So he was going to make this team. So the team is LeBron, Steph, Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid, Tatum, Booker, Drew Holiday, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Bam, and Tyrese Halliburton. Good squad. So sounds like Bam will have a very busy summer, especially the quick turnaround after the NBA Finals, So, listen, he's going to have to find his rest. He has done it before, though. But I wanted to get to some comments here after the regular season finale regarding Tyler Herro, because, there's some questions with this Heat team for sure. Jovic, and Jaquez, and what are they going to do in the bright lights? And we'll dive into that, too, before everything gets going and rolling with the postseason, and certainly the health of Terry Rozier and Duncan Robinson. But I wanted to get to something Tyler said. I thought it was interesting. I asked him a question after the game in the regular season finale. And it wasn't out of nowhere. Like, it kind of had stemmed off of something that Will Manso had asked him, because he was asked about their run last year, and his initial reaction was, well, bleep, I wasn't part of the run last year.
People are going to assume last year's run, hey, you did it last year, do it again this year, but what can you take, if anything, from what you did last year into this postseason?
I wasn't even part of it. I'm just trying to be healthy as an individual and just as a team, just whatever we can do to win, and, I'm just happy to be out here and help. I think the biggest takeaway from last year is just anything can happen. Obviously, not ideal to be in the 7 or 8 spot, but we're here, and that's our reality, and we can make moves with wherever we're at.
Which was cool, but then I wanted to ask him, how excited is he for this opportunity? I didn't ask that out of nowhere, by the way, because there was a couple occasions where Tyler Herro had spoken about the idea of proving himself in the playoffs. In fact, I'll bring you to some comments. These were back in April, right after he broke his hand. And this is what a Tyler Herro, at that time 23 years old, had to say.
Yeah, it was just sucks, obviously being home and being in the playoffs, you work so hard and all year to be in this moment. And I feel like I had some things to prove this postseason, so it was a tough moment. I still can't believe it. It'll probably sink in, tomorrow night when I can't suit up. So it's my first time breaking a bone, and unfortunate timing, and stay positive, and I'll be back stronger than ever, and I'll be back.
Yeah, never forget, he shot the basketball with a broken bone in his hand. But yeah, he had made that point that he had some things to prove. I remember interviewing him the media day of that season, and he had talked about, he felt kind of in the mud. He wasn't necessarily all there. He felt like his best self when he was dealing with some other injuries the year before when they had made it to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals. He suited up for that Game 7, but really wasn't himself. Had hoped to be more of himself in the NBA Finals should they have made it. They did not. And, we're going on basically since the first final season, where he's got the snarl in the 2020 Finals against the Lakers, 37 in the Eastern Conference Finals, and we're all hating Paul Pierce because he refuses to acknowledge this as being anything special. And so I brought this up to Tyler because I believe there was a couple quotes this year where kind of echoed those sentiments. And also he had said, I believe it was to Anthony Chang, the quote was that he wanted to say before the season that he wanted to make himself untouchable. So anyway, I say that to you to bring you to last night or 2 nights ago about, how excited is he to get the chance to prove himself in high stakes games. Playing is not the playoffs, but it's a high stakes game. This is a chance for him to do it. He was not in the last high stakes game against the Philadelphia 76ers. If you recall, that was, Maxey and Embiid are going absolutely berserk in that game. And the Heat had the lead. They squandered it because they went, just so damn long without scoring in that game. But that was the last game this season that the Miami Heat did not have Tyler Herro. In fact, you remember there was a whole thing that week about, is Tyler Herro going to make his return? Then they have the cap emoji. And, we were dealing with that for like the week plus prior to that. He had come back the next night against Houston and looked really, really damn good. So anyway, getting to his comments, this is what Tyler had to say when asked about proving himself.
Tyler, what's your excitement level just to prove what you can do on stage of the games meaning the most?
I'm not trying to really prove anything. Just be out there and have fun and play basketball. I don't really want to prove anything. Just be healthy. That's all I'm trying to do is be healthy.
I thought that was great. There has definitely been a young Tyler Herro who, let's be honest, has had to handle a lot of noise in his career. Some of it he is steered into and is owned because he is a new age athlete who will make his own statements on social media. And if he doesn't agree with how Shams is wording his health, he will call that into question. If he does not believe that trade rumors are accurately being reported, he will make note of that on social media. He's not the first one to do this, but this is definitely a younger 20s athlete who has, had some rabbit ears before and has I think heard the noise, has sometimes let the noise get to him, and then has sometimes ignored the noise, and then has wanted to shoot down the noise. And I really dug this answer from Tyler because it really was not a narrative needed answer. I think he basically just, when he says he just wants to be healthy, he knows that he has the skills to perform on a big stage and that he knows he's got the ability to go out there and prove himself, and that he knows that as long as he's healthy and he is himself and he is having fun, and he really does look like he's having fun, getting his teammates involved, yesterday with the double pump fake and leading to the Caleb Martin and nailing big shots and setting up his guys. He didn't look like a guy who was trying to prove himself. He doesn't look like a guy who's, I think his narrative would say, there's only one basketball. How are you going to work this out with Jimmy and Bam and Terry Rozier and all? I don't know. They don't seem to be sweating it too much. Now, earlier in the year, there was definitely some stuff. And this isn't a Tyler thing. This was before Tyler got hurt again, them all trying to figure each other out. I was like, I don't know what you guys are trying to figure out. You guys have been together for 5 years. And specifically, I'm referring to Bam, Jimmy, Tyler, Duncan. You guys have been together for 5 seasons. What are you trying to figure out? And I think with Tyler, he hasn't looked like a guy who's trying to figure out anything since he's come back. He looks like a guy who has it figured out. He is playing basketball in a rhythm, smooth. He's been hitting shots. And so for a guy to go from, and you think about this, you probably think to yourself after hearing all the noise and or maybe getting to a point where like, well, there is no noise because you're just out of basketball for so much and all you're around are, your family and your support system and the ones that really matter. And I do think it probably changes a young man's mentality. I don't know. But I thought it was, I don't know if it was straight up just young kids shooting down the answer or if that's really how it feels. If this is a different mentality that Tyler's going with and that he's got all the tools to prove it. He doesn't feel like he has to prove anything. He knows that if he's out there, it will be proven. It's necessary for Tyler Herro. They're not going anywhere. I really truly feel they're not going anywhere without Tyler Herro being the best version of himself this year. You could get playoff Jimmy and you could get Bam Adebayo, but in today's day and age, when there's going to be games you're going to need to go shot for shot with guys. You're going to need someone of Tyler Herro's talents. So very intrigued by the answer, very intrigued to see how this all plays out, and very, very excited for this all to get going this week.